Steven, what did we do this week?
We met for our Monday meeting, planned out the week.
We did.
Tuesday we filmed a bunch of stuff for the D5500.
Oh, that's right, we did.
And then Wednesday I was home editing a bajillion videos.
And I was here
today
working.
We're doing RAWtalk.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm back home editing RAWtalk.
Sutter, what'd you do this week?
I did nothing.
What did I? I don't think I did anything this week, actually.
Inspector Dale Cooper's
Is this Instagram
is blowing up.
It's doing pretty good. Last time I saw it, it was at like 400 followers.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool.
Insta-famous.
What's his Instagram?
Cooper the Hedgehog.
At
Cooper the Hedgehog.
On Instagram. If you want to follow a hedgehog, feel free to follow the Cooper the Hedgehog. Anyway, let me do my intro.
Do it. Sure.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk episode number 127. This is the Passover / Easter edition.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the story of Passover coming up.
I can't wait.
For all the people that don't know what Passover is,
I'm excited.
I will be demonstrating, or I'll be orally dictating. Well,
narrating?
Can you say orally dictate?
Commentating?
Well, or orally dictating. I'm going to orally speak it and dictate it, speak it. I think that may be redundant to say orally dictating.
I don't know.
What a really good combination of words.
Interesting.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about this week, Steven.
So much.
We have a plug.
Can't wait for a 3-hour episode.
It's not going to be 3 hours. Last
This is
week
an
was 2
electrical
hours.
wire. Here is the plug.
That's right. We are interviewing. we're interviewing a 3-pronged plug as well as a European plug today.
That should be
we got
interesting.
something to talk about YouTube. We've got to talk about that D5500 real world review 5-minute portrait.
Yes.
That is up and out into the world. We've got the story of Passover. I don't know the story of Easter myself. We're going to talk about something what I did in San Francisco. And then my dad's coming on later to talk about the DNA from Ancestry.com because I had my DNA analyzed.
He's not actually your dad?
Well, we're going to have to wait and find out.
Up next, who's Jared's daddy?
Find out later on Maury Povich. Are you the father?
The results are in.
Find out later on this episode
Cut
of
to
Raw
commercial.
Talk. Yeah. The best is, my favorite, I saw this just happen, and there was a white woman and a white guy that she's married to.
It's racist.
The two kids, it could go any way. You could call it racism if you want to call it racism.
just doing it
It just so
'cause you
happens
do it
to be
all the
a
time.
white girl and a white guy that have 2 black babies.
I think I saw this one.
So I don't think he's quite the daddy.
I don't think so either.
And now I think the truth may have come out that she was sleeping with somebody that wasn't her
No.
husband.
After
way.
the second kid, he got suspicious.
It kind of doesn't look like me, but let me check my Ancestry.com DNA for that area of the world. Nope. 0% chance. You are not the father. Could you imagine going on that show and doing that?
It's ridiculous.
So
that
now,
show.
I mean, that's a perfect segue into talking about Rode microphones.
Perfect segue.
I mean, perfect segue. Go from not the father to Rode. Well, see, now that would be a good skit for my Rode Reel competition.
There you go.
You could film it. See, Sutter, what's the website?
It's myroadreel.com.
Well, can you spell that?
MYRE.
No.
Whoa. My Road Reel. MY. Did I say ME?
Yeah.
I said me Road Reel. Oh, it's My Road Reel. MYRE.
No. Where are you getting this E from?
Road, R-O.
Oh, I'm going right to Reel. What am I doing?
Jesus, Steven.
Oh, I
Wait, hold
messed
on.
up
Where's
today.
my
Hold
bell?
on.
We practiced
No,
this.
hold on. If this was the spelling bee, it would have been.
That doesn't
You
sound
wanna
like
try
a bell
again?
At all.
Yes, it would be M.
Wrong.
That's right.
Okay, try it again.
Wait, do we need the www dot for the worldwide?
Go.
www.m.
You forgot a W.
www.myrodereel.com.
Correct. Okay.
That only took 5
I'm
minutes to
glad
get
we
through.
got through that. Thank you, Sutter. Anyway, the My Road Reel competition, we've talked about it before. Last year it was $70-some thousand in prizes. This year it's not 70, not 80,
1 million?
not 90, $200,000 in prizes to be won. I think a great skit would be a Maury Povich type skit that it's not your baby, something like that, and then you could do it. That's how I segued it. You see that? That's called segueing into something so good. Entries are open until the end of May, so there's still plenty of time to make a film to enter. I can enter, you can enter, you can enter, Todd can enter.
It's dangerous.
We could enter.
Dang.
We could do it. Check out Road Reel sample entry, the mascot. I'm not going to tell you what the... anyway, it's road.com/myroadreel/our entry _ whatever. Put that up on the page. That is a terrible URL to try to get people to say. Just go to the page. We'll have it on FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-127. Oh yeah, and they also have a bunch of tips and tricks that were good last year.
They probably have the same beginner videos, right? Which is awesome.
If not newer.
Great.
Yeah.
Because I haven't
really
looked.
Good.
Sutter, one more time. Where can people go to find this information out?
Oh my God.
MYRODE.
You forgot the WW.
Is that the cowbell?
Just
more
two
cowbell.
WWs?
Come on.
www. Dot.
That was a dot. I was doing the dot.
Okay. MYRODEREEL.com.
Could you believe he thought it was funny because he kept saying E?
I know.
I was like, where are you getting E from? It's like, what spell? Okay. All right. Let's go to the D5500 discussion.
Yes.
So the challenge was from you and Todd, and I wasn't
you didn't
happy
want to
about
accept
it.
At first.
I wasn't happy because
You were like, no, I want to shoot with my D4S. No, what are my lenses? That's like exactly you.
That was true. Good thing. So what happened is we're thinking about the 5-minute portrait real world reviews to do, and if anybody has watched this already, you can see the quality that went into this with 2 cameras, Steven and Todd shooting, the GoPro on my camera, the GoPro off to the corner, a lot of different, this is the progress I talk about that we're looking to create, or we are creating and moving in the direction. Now, you guys are like, well, why don't you shoot with something you've never shot with before? I was like, well, the D55 just came out, and I'm like, I can challenge myself to use the freaking Kit lens. It's an 18-140, and that's why I ended up titling the video.
That's a nice range, too.
It's an unbelievable range, first off. It's equivalent to a 27mm to a 210mm 35 millimeter lens.
Nice.
In this case, 18 is pretty darn wide because if you buy like a 17-50 2.8 from Tamron or Sigma, you're looking, or a Nikon or a Canon, it's not much wider. Now, aperture-wise, we can talk about that in a second, but I titled it, How to Get Professional Photos with a Kit Lens. Because it turned out that if I showed you those pictures without knowing what I shot, or if I showed anybody those pictures, the best of the best, that photo book, they would not sit there and be like, oh, did you use your D4S and the 18 to 20, the whatever right here? People most likely aren't going to do that. They're going to look at the photos and go, oh, snap.
It comes down to just the final image, what it looks like.
And it did.
Doesn't matter what you shot
And
it
here's the misconception about people have. I've ripped on Kit lenses for a long time. I've ripped on them because, one, I think the 18-55 is too short. I don't think that's a good Kit lens. If you have to get a Kit lens, it shouldn't be the 18-55, and it shouldn't be an 18-200. This 18-140 is an unbelievable range because it's still the 3.5 to 5.6, just like the 18-55 is a 3.5 to 5.6. But that's a joke. So yes, this is a little bit more expensive. But the reason that I take some crap on ripping on Kit lenses is I think that, look, I used the Kit lens and was able to get fantastic results. Give that to a beginner who's shooting an auto and doesn't understand why the exposure triangle, they're probably not going to get the same results that I was able to pull out that lens. With that lens. It comes down to understanding the exposure triangle first and foremost so that you can use the camera, push it to its limits without going over too far, and understand the lens. And now let me just run down the understanding of what I'm talking about here. Here's what went through my head. I had to figure out if I'm at 18, I'm at 3.5. But as I zoom in, which I'm doing quite often, it's going to go 4.5, f4, 4.3, whatever, all the way up to 5.6. So I have to think to myself, if I'm in a photo shoot, how am I going to compensate for the aperture changing? Because as it goes from 3.5 to 5.6, in essence, it's almost 2 stops. It's not 2 full stops. 2 stops would be 2.8 to 4 to 5.6. Yeah. But I'm for figuring out purposes, I'm calling it 2 stops. So you have to figure out, you're losing light. So what are the options for gaining more light? Sutter, what are some options for gaining more light if you can't gain any more aperture?
You could raise your ISO.
Or
you can slow down your shutter speed.
So those are the two
Bing, bing,
options.
bing.
Those are the two options that you have right there. So going into the shoot, I started with a higher ISO. I think it was like 2500, and that camera could definitely handle that today.
Like 102,000.
That gave me like a 1/1000th. What'd you say?
I said like 102,000.
Oh,
It's a joke.
I'm sorry. I was focused.
Clearly, you didn't get the
I was not
punchline.
paying attention. I was focused here.
That's weird.
I was shooting at 1/1000th of a second at 2500 ISO. So if I go from 3.5 and I'm at 1/1000th of a second, and I need to get to and the lens goes to 5.6, 2 stops. How do I change my shutter speed? I know in order to get the exact same exposure, I drop the shutter speed 2 stops. You have it 1 to get 1 stop was 1/500th of a second. Have it again, you're at 1/250th of a second, and you can still shoot. If I started at 1/250th of a second and lost 2 stops of light,
You'd be
then
pretty low.
I'd be 1/25th and then a 60th of a second, and you start to get into that area where you
Handshake.
may get that handshake, or you may start to introduce some blur. So that's why the mentality for me was start at the higher ISO, because I knew that it would compensate for dropping the shutter speed to where it would still be usable. And I shot with the VR on, which is only going to help counteract my movement,
Yep.
not the subject's movement. Does that make sense to you?
Makes total sense.
That's
and those cameras can handle a higher ISO these days.
They
It's not
can.
like you're shooting on a 4-year-old camera that can barely go past 3200.
So in the right hands, a kit lens, in any camera and any lens combination in a professional's hands, or somebody who, not even a professional, but somebody who understands the exposure triangle and can compensate knowing what they're doing, you're going to get a hell of a lot better results than somebody who just bought the camera, turns it on auto, and uses a kit lens. Because if, a lot of times you throw it in auto, it's shooting at 5.6, 7.1.
Oh, yeah.
If it's going to shoot at 7.1
Pop up
when you're
flash.
zoomed out, well, pop up the flash for 1, or 2, it's going to bump the ISO up to an astronomical figure, and people are going to be like, well, my camera sucks.
Yeah.
When I almost said 9 out of 10 times, more like 999,999 times out of a million.
What?
9, okay, here it is. 999,999.
Okay.
Out of 1 million times, it's going to be human error, not the camera's fault.
The one time is the camera's fault.
What is your question, Sutter?
Did you think about doing the shoot at 5.6 the whole time, so you wouldn't have to keep worrying about changing your shutter speed back and forth, and just shooting at a 250th at 5.6 at 2500 ISO?
That could have been an option.
Yeah.
Because
But
then when you zoom in and out, nothing's changing. It would stay.
I didn't think about that in the shoot, but I don't think that I would wanted to have stayed at 5.6.
Okay.
Because at 3.5, I get that different, a different result that I
Sure.
was hopefully finding. But that is an option you could do. You could lock that in.
Oh, yeah.
You could try, I guess, aperture priority. Well, no, it still would bounce around. And so it's just figuring out the settings. That was the mentality. This is an hour-long video. If you haven't seen it, it's popped up on the screen a couple times that you can link over to it. Or, I didn't talk about this yet, there's an I button up in the corner when you hover over the screen on YouTube. That is something new that YouTube has, and it's called cards. Cards are like the new annotations. They're where things are moving. So in there, it can take you to a playlist of the D5500, and it can link you back over to the website, my website, and I think I could probably add a third card. Well, no, you can already go over to the playlist. I can also link to the video back on my site.
Nice.
Or either way, I can link to the video on YouTube or just send people back to my site. That's all up there in the cards. Cards are extremely powerful. A lot of people are starting to use them. But the challenge was to use the D5500 and the kit lens. And when I started processing the images, which you can see all 370 I took, which I think there may be 2 that are completely out of missed focus out of 370 using the basic kit lens and gear. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I think the hard part about that shoot was the small space, the environment we were in. Plus, you had that huge window light to compensate, which I'm sure you had to constantly, be riding your shutter the entire time when it comes to the window light.
In the video, there's probably 8 or 9 different quick tips. Not only am I teaching, whether you're an advanced shooter or you're a beginner shooter, I think this video is going to be enjoyable for everybody.
It's great
That's why we
information.
make it like this, so that it's out in the real world, shooting a real world environment. You get to see all of the pictures, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. And generally speaking, I wouldn't deliver 370 pictures of 370 I took. I would have pared it down to the best 20 or 30, maybe even less. And that makes an even better statement. But for learning purposes, I will share everything with everybody, so people can learn.
And from a video standpoint, it was kind of difficult for me and Todd to follow you the entire time because we had 2 shooters in this extremely small pizza shop. So it was a little tough on that end, but I think it came out great.
Yeah, and that's the direction of where we're moving.
Yeah, this was more of just the trial run, the first one, but there's many more to come.
Yeah, and we're not sure whether they'll be an hour long or they'll be less. It's just
we still
a matter
gotta figure that out.
Well, it's a matter of me talking less, but I got in the shooting zone and I felt really good shooting.
Yeah, and it's with that, it's literally completely 100% run and gun. We don't really know what you're gonna do. It's kind of like boom, that is reality TV right there.
Well, no, because reality TV is scripted and fake.
It's literally reality TV
because you're seeing it in real time.
Exactly.
And that's the way I love it, because you can't wrangle me. You can't give me a script and say follow this.
If we tried to, it never works out.
No, because it'd be like I'd be like, no, I'm gonna shoot, and you don't know where I'm gonna go. But generally, you know where I'm gonna. You know how to follow me.
I've done enough times now where I can.
And Todd can do it as well. And when you have the two angles, my GoPro angle and the 4th GoPro, then that means he can cut around it for editing purposes.
It's nice.
So check out that video. It's awesome, and it's also meaning there's going to be a raw edit video behind it. There's a user's guide video for how to use the D5500. It spawned so many other amazing quick tips that just gets us out of here to get us the real deal content outside.
That's great.
Awesome. Sushi in San Francisco.
Ooh,
I was in
new
San
spot?
Francisco. Literally was on the ground for 25 hours.
Yeah.
So I flew out 6.5 hours from Philly to San Francisco on Wednesday night. Left here at 6:30. And got there at 9:30, or left here at 6. My flight was at 6. Got there at 9:30 to San Francisco, and I was on a plane at 10 o'clock the next night, back on a red eye. I went out because I got asked to be on a panel at YouTube, so I got to go to YouTube's headquarters, which was nice, really nice. Like, anytime you Google, somebody asked me, they're like, "Is it like the internship?" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much. It's very similar. They have the catering, they have all this other stuff. They had one of those grappling hook games with socks, YouTube socks in it. Just, it was unbelievable. It was a pretty great experience. And
do they have like a nap room?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
but I bet
Isn't
you
that
they
in
do.
In the internship?
Well,
There's
they had those bubble things.
Yeah.
So I went out on a whim. I mean, we were in Chicago when this happened, which was literally going to be a week later. I just booked a flight while we were there. They gave me a gift card to speak, but it still cost me like $700-800 to go.
Gift card to where?
It's a Visa gift card.
Visa gift card.
Yeah. The reason I decided to say yes was because I've said no for so many times in my life in the past, just for something like this. But it was a great opportunity. It all started with New York when I went to unlock the space. Though I didn't think I needed to really learn anything. Well, there's always stuff to learn. I went up there, got introduced to the right people, got connected with this one guy who's now my YouTube partner manager, said to him, I'm like, anytime if you're looking for somebody to speak, feel free to put my name into it. And then if it's too far away, I won't do it, or I'll think about it. So he called and he's like, I'm not sure if you want to come out to the home office and do this. It's only a 30-minute panel with 3 other people. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Because I got to talk to his boss, and then his boss's boss I got to talk to, who so happened to be a photographer. So I gave him some stuff. I wanted to make an impression, and I did not take over the panel, but I also didn't sit there quietly and not chime in.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I got a lot of feedback that people really liked the spice, and there was a lot of good information. I didn't interrupt people on the panel when they were speaking, but I also took it as an opportunity to share as much information as I could. That was extremely important. So I got to hang out with Lens Tag, Trevor, and his wife, Alex, who works.
You stayed at his place, right?
I stayed at his place. We worked till like 2 a.m. on some Lens Tag stuff.
What was the new slogan or something that you had? Didn't you guys think of something?
There's a new slogan that I helped him think about, or that we thought of. It was,
what do you have to lose?
All you have to lose is your gear.
That's it.
That was the slogan, Lens Tag.
It only took me 3 months to think of that.
Well, we were sitting there, and I was kind of sleeping, from the travel, and I was just like, you have nothing to lose but your gear. I came up with something longer, and he was like, you have nothing to lose but your gear.
Short and sweet.
Right, and it makes sense for
good
Lens
tagline.
Tag. Sign up for Lens Tag. Oh, and anyway,
Sign up for Lens Tag.
Todd, this other guy, Todd, who works in San Francisco. He does some awesome. I don't know his Instagram. It's Soju Sushi or something. Soju Sushi.
I'll put it on the
I'll
screen.
just put a note down.
Yeah, so, because he hasn't shot a lot on Instagram because he works a bunch of different jobs, but he takes some great scenics of the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff. He sent me a message. He's like, "Come on down to the sushi place." So I went down to the sushi place with Alex and Trevor, who also go to Japan a lot, so they know good sushi. And basically,
Real sushi.
you can pop up some of the pictures on the screen. I'll send you from what we ate. He picked the sushi that we're eating, and we're not talking about Americanized rolls because they threw on there baby squid. You saw that picture.
Delicious.
Look at the baby squid. I ate that. Not happily. I was bitching about it. I was whining the whole time going, "Are you really like baby freaking squid?" And
So
he's like, "Well, they're the
tasty.
kind that light up." I'm like, "Well, what are they going to light up in my belly?" So that was one. The one that I didn't like pretty much was like raw snow crab with fargoire.
You know what the baby squid looks like?
Fargoire.
Did you ever see-
Fargoire.
I got it.
What's
You're
it
not gonna
called?
get it.
Fargoire.
Did you ever see Prometheus?
Fargoire.
Have you seen Prometheus?
Which one's that?
That's the prequel to Aliens.
No, I never saw Prometheus.
Well, there's a scene where the girl is pretty
Ten-
much getting, the alien ripped out of her stomach, and that's what it looked like. That little baby squid looked like that little alien
Oh,
baby
really?
in her stomach.
Well,
You just
anyway,
ate a little alien. That's gonna be you,
Fargoire.
alien baby.
Fargoire.
Oh my God.
Fargoire. It's goose liver. Do you know how they get fargoire?
I assume
They
they
chop
cut
up a
open a
goose?
goose.
No, they feed it until its liver explodes.
A baby squid, and
when
then the squid pops out.
No,
like
when
aliens.
the liver explodes, that's what it's goose liver. It tasted like throw up.
Nice.
Ugh, and then there was sea urchin.
I'm sure
at the very
So you
end.
loved that sushi trip.
Wasn't my favorite, but there were some really good things that he had. And then there were some that were like barracuda was weird and
Barracuda?
whatever. All right, that's what I did there.
I'm glad you had plenty of time to sightsee.
I had zero time. I didn't sightsee at all.
know.
So before we get into your photo news, we've done the we've done the sushi. We're gonna get to the My DNA with my dad after this to see if he's the
Dinner.
father.
It's dinner.
Dinner. But I wanted to
Dinner.
talk about because I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Is Easter happy?
Oh, well, that's what they say. Happy Easter.
Merry Easter.
Well, what
That's
is
when he rises, right? Good Friday is when he comes back.
Jesus?
Wait,
you mean?
I thought
Jesus.
was it? Yeah, I think he comes back on Easter.
Yeah.
right. But
The third day he rises.
I
Oh
don't-
wait, Good Friday is when he
dies. Yeah.
I got it wrong. Yeah,
Wait, is tomorrow Good Friday?
tomorrow's Good Friday.
Jesus dies tomorrow
Well, yeah,
for your sins?
2015 years ago. Yeah,
For your sins?
for our sins.
yeah,
I don't.
And then he
How did he
rises
die?
again.
How did he die for your sins?
I don't know, man.
2005. Anyway, speaking of Passover, you know the story of Passover?
I have no idea.
Do you know the story of Passover?
I mean, I generally know, but I don't know the
no,
specifics.
I only know the whole menorah thing.
It's they're getting away from the slavery in Egypt.
I
Right, or
told you
something?
this.
No, but I did know about this generally beforehand.
Yeah. That's so. Here's the story of Passover. So this is what happened. The official story of Passover, as told by Jared Polin of FroKnowsPhoto in the year 2015. Moses was in Egypt, and Moses went up to so the Jews are slaves. They're all toiling away, building pyramids and hammering stones and stuff like this, and they're all hot because the sun's beating down on their backs, but they have big froze, so it's blocking their hair. They're not really burning
work
up so much.
sucks.
Yeah, this work is terrible. And so the Jews have been enslaved by Ramses and Ramses' ancestors all in Egypt.
We hate you, Ramses.
Well, anyway, so Moses, he goes up to Ramses. He walks up the pyramid stairs into the pyramids. Not really, but anyway, it just sounds good for the story. He walks up there and he goes, Ramses,
What's up?
let my people go. Just like that song by the Hooters. All you zombies. Same story, basically. And so the Pharaoh goes, why would I let your people go, buddy? And then Moses is like, well, because
I'm not your buddy, guy.
because you've enslaved us for so long. And so the Pharaoh goes, okay, you may go. All right. So Moses, not wanting to ask twice, turns around, walks out, grabs his tablets at the door and his big staff, and he goes to the Jews and he goes, the Pharaoh has let us go. We must make haste and leave. But what happened is the bread that was in the oven didn't have a chance to rise. So all they were left with was matzah.
No.
Sutter, go grab me the matzah on top of the refrigerator, please.
Okay.
Sorry, if the time is okay. So the bread didn't have time to rise, but they figured they better not wait long, because if they wait too long, the Pharaoh will come down and say, no, you people are slaves. You deserve to be here making slavery labor and stuff.
Slavery labor.
This is matzah. It does taste like this box.
Looks like cardboard.
Here, this was dropped off by, let me pause the story. This was dropped off by Matisyahu's friend, dropped it off at my door.
Ah.
This is an official, real piece of
That comes in a box.
matzah, and guess what it smells like?
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Because that's what matzah smells like.
Looks delicious.
It's not. So anyway, so the Jews, they get into the desert. They all leave Egypt. And the Pharaoh's up there eating his grapes, women doing that, fanning him and giving him his grapes. And so the Jews they're leaving, and they're coming up on the Dead Sea and everything. And the Pharaoh's like, I want my slaves back. Who's going to build my pyramids and stuff? So he's like, go get them. And then the chariots start racing after the Jews in the desert. And Moses,
Stop.
he sees that they're stuck because the Red Sea is here.
Oh, no.
How do we get past it?
What
And
are
he
we gonna
gets up
do?
on the mountaintop and he goes, God, can you part the sea for me?
Please, God.
And then God comes down and says, okay, Moses. And then the sea parts and the Jews rush through to the other side. And as they get to the other side, here come the Egyptians on their chariots of fire, and they're going through. And then Moses goes, Amen, and closes the Red Sea,
Whoa.
killing all of those Egyptians. And then the Jews wandered the desert for 40 years.
That's crazy.
And that's the story of Passover. I also forgot to talk about the plagues and that all the firstborns would be killed if you did not put lamb's blood on the door, because
Left out a lot of details.
I left out quite a bit there. But you can read the Torah or watch the Ten Commandments.
There you go.
Or was I just reciting the Ten Commandments?
I have no idea, man.
I think, also Passover, the firstborn, Ramses' son was killed because he didn't put lamb's blood on the door. And so there were plagues, there was locusts, and there was vermin, and there was rain and hail, and those aren't the actual plagues. Well, you'll see, because you're
probably
coming,
completely wrong about
you're
this
coming to
entire-
Passover. No, you're
I
coming to
am. I'm
Passover
coming
dinner on Saturday.
dinner, yeah.
We're having Passover dinner at my house, the Seder. Okay, I spent a lot of time talking about that.
You did.
But that was a good story.
That was an excellent story.
I hope there's pictures
Cool
to go
story,
along
bro.
with it. All right, is it time?
I hope the animator guy that did the What a Wonderful Life or World thing makes another one.
Well, I'm going to ask him. The thing is that took him like 10 hours, 12. It takes a long time.
I can imagine,
But I
yeah.
think that
We'll get the Passover animation next year.
Yeah, I'll save it for next year. So that is the story of Passover. Now, cue the music from audioblocks.com. This week's music is...
But hopefully something good.
And that's time for photo news. I did like last week's. I thought that worked.
Well, yeah, I mean, what did I look up? I think I just looked up news and found something that was decent, like a decent stinger. And then I just found intro music on top of that and just kind of rolled into photo news. So hopefully, I think this week I'm going to go a little weirder or awkward
Find
or
something
dramatic
interesting
or
that
just
could work.
something, yeah.
All right.
Anyway, first up for photo news, Phase 1 Industrial has announced the world's smallest medium format camera for drones called the Phase 1 IXU 180. It has an 80 megapixel CCD sensor on the inside, with the body being just a little wider than the actual lens barrel, weighing in at about 2 pounds. Now, spec-wise, it has a USB 3.0 for fast data transfer, a CF card slot, and an ISO range of 35 to 800.
Oh, 35 to 800 ISO. Let's go back to the year
format,
12.
Yes.
Except 35 is pretty good if you're up in the sky.
Yep. The IXU 180 uses a Phase 1 lens mount and is compatible with various Schneider Kreuznach lenses. I know Schneider, but I don't know Schneider Kreuznach lenses. The 28, 55, 80, 110, 150, and 240 millimeter lenses it's compatible with, and it'll start shipping later this month.
How much?
It didn't give a price. This is the industrial aerial side of Phase 1.
What the hell is the industrial side of aerial
Phase 1 industrial, it's like they focus just on aerial stuff.
Speaking of aerial, go look up Aerial Pink. One of the most weird music you can find, but Aerial Pink, there's some good songs. Go look on Spotify.
Now, speaking of drones, a photographer launched fireworks from his quadcopter and captured some really unique long exposure shots in the process. Photographer Calder Wilson is behind the project and recommends having 2 people to pull it off right. He says you'll need to carefully plan out triggering the camera shutter, lighting the firework on the drone, taking off, and piloting while the camera is exposing the shot. The resulting image looks pretty much like icicle lights. And you got that flash there, buddy?
No, I'm doing Snapchat.
The resulting images look like the icicle lights, like sparklers on a string kind of thing. It's really neat looking. He tells Petapixel that the project is an ongoing experiment that I'll be continuing throughout the year. But really neat stuff.
Yeah, I saw it. It was all right.
I saw another
alright.
guy who was shooting fireworks down from his drone at his friend running around on the ground.
that
Roman
was like
candles?
last year. That was great. Yeah, the Roman candle ones.
Well, we still need to get the pixel stick out, Sutter.
yeah, we do need to get
As
that.
it's nice out, we should just go
I forgot about
do
the pixel
something
stick.
with the pixel stick.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
I have your logo and I Shoot Raw programs on it,
Nice.
but I can add some other things and tweak some stuff, and we could do some big stuff.
That'd be funny.
Rare Civil War era photos have been added to the Library of Congress this week.
Congress.
Thanks to a Texas grandma. The 87-year-old named Robin Stanford put together.
Hi guys, it's Robin Stanford here.
I have this Civil War era photographs.
Apparently,
a whole collection.
I've got a lot of photographs, and apparently they're worth a lot of money.
But she put together the collection over the years. The photos contain images of like Fort Sumter, Abraham Lincoln's funeral car procession, Abe Lincoln's home draped in mourning on the day of his funeral, the Southern artillery militia, slaves, a whole bunch more.
Slaves?
Yeah, slaves too.
Were they
Civil War.
Moses' people?
Each item in the collection is a stereo photo. The 2 shots of the scene arranged side by side for viewing through a special stereo viewer back in the day. They would shoot the images, develop them, and piece them together for a stereo image for viewing. One photo even shows the photographer's portable developing tent hidden behind like a mortar.
Wait a second.
At Fort Sumter.
Was this the Litro?
Now, Stanford says she has been planning to pass the collection on to her son, but his recent death caused her to lose motivation in collecting, and basically she decided to sell the archive. Now, many of the photographs have already been digitized and published online by the Library of Congress, and the rest will be digitized soon. Library of Congress. I'm going to make sure to correct you on everything, too.
You correct me, there's library. Sorry.
Simply do a search for Robin Stanford collection at the Library of Congress's website.
Crayon or crown?
Crown.
Is that an East Coast thing?
That's an East Coast
Crown.
thing.
Crayon.
Now, no purchase price was announced, but I'm sure it was up there. She's just glad that pretty much everyone in the public can actually view these images now.
I feel sorry that she lost her son.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't know how he died, but she was planning on passing it down, and she can't. So you'll love this. There's a new tablet selfie stick. Tablet selfie stick.
Tablet selfie slick stick.
You can now buy a selfie stick that has a special attachment specifically for mounting your tablet as a camera. The attachment is basically a strap that wraps around your tablet and connects via a standard tripod mount. Now, the tablet selfie stick is going for just $19 with free shipping.
And you sure this is an April Fool's joke?
No, this is not an April Fool's joke because I did check the website
Hand me the
after
selfie
the
stick,
fact, and it was on there. But yeah, this is what the world's coming to, man.
And more selfie stick news.
$19 isn't that much, though. Yeah, more selfie stick news. Fortunately, for those going to Coachella and Lollapalooza this year, they won't be bothered with selfie sticks. So both major festivals are banning the sticks, listing them as prohibited items on their website. They specifically...
Yeah, but Molly's okay.
Yeah, right. Any drug is fine, but not selfie sticks. Now, they specifically noted that there should be no GoPro attachment-like sticks, selfie sticks, and monopods in their rules and policy page. They say that selfie sticks / narcissists are banned from attendance, which I think is great.
That's funny.
No word on whether or not major U.S. festivals, other major U.S. festivals like Firefly or Bonnaroo will follow in their footsteps, but I'm sure they will. This rule already applies in major UK venues, by the way, like the O2 Arena and Wembley and stuff like that. Are you actually doing it?
What are you doing?
Just did like a 10-frame
Stop
burst.
taking so many pictures.
You must have you must have a timer or something.
I did
set
the
on
timer setting.
but like on rapid burst or something.
Maybe.
I didn't know the
isn't
phone
that
can do
the
that.
one where you like it'll take 10 and you pick the best one and auto
Well, if you
deletes
just
the
hold it
others?
down in
It's-
any frame burst, you can do that.
All right. Are you done with this story?
I'm done with that story. Yes.
Because the selfie stick is horrible.
Your favorite.
You should look. When we were in Chicago, you saw those people using the selfie stick
Wait, where
at
was
the
it?
Bean.
Oh,
How bad did that look?
There was a lot of selfie sticks there.
But didn't it look? It's pretentious. It really is. Like, I'm at the bar at Barcade the other week, and I'm watching these people huddle around a selfie stick like, oh my God, guys, let's take a selfie. Oh, well, you couldn't just ask somebody to take your freaking picture?
Well, that's the thing.
I don't want to.
My only guess...
I don't want to bang the floor. I don't want to upset anybody.
My only reason for using one, if I did, which I never have, but would be if I was at like a major landmark and I wanted to get the landmark and a group of people in the picture at the same time. Granted, you can just still ask someone, but... Or if there's no one around or something like that. It is kind of good to have in the bag for something like that.
No, it's for people that want to take pictures of themselves.
I'm saying like if you're like a tourist or something.
And
the bean, I understand, but yeah, you could easily ask someone to take your picture.
Well, but I'm holding a stick out. Look at me, everybody.
It does piss me off the most when it's at a concert or a festival or something like that, and it's like blocking your view.
But
terrible.
Oh God!
Did you guys see the video of Obama using one?
No.
There's a video
I
where
did.
he's
That
in
was
the
funny.
Oval Office. It's a BuzzFeed video, and it's him taking a selfie with a selfie stick.
I did see. I don't know if it was a New York Post or one of those. One of the newspapers in New York posted like the front page cover of these. There was like a fire of a building
yeah,
on
it's
fire.
yeah.
No, a
and
building
this group
blew
of
up.
girls was like taking a selfie.
They did. That went viral.
Yeah.
And that people were then cutting them out and putting them in front of other disasters.
Oh god, that's
Oh,
terrible.
God.
Stuff moves quick on the internet.
It really does. I'm sure that was out within like a minute of them posting it. So a new instant camera called the Instant Flex TL70 mimics a Rolleiflex twins lens reflex camera and prints Instax photos too. The camera was made by a company called Mint and it was meant to pay tribute to Rolleiflex and its twin lens cameras and Polaroid's SX70, hence the name, essentially basically combining them. Now features include auto exposure, bulb mode, a built-in flash, and adjustments for aperture, focus, exposure. It takes 2 AA batteries to operate. It has LED lights next to the display and indicates the camera's exposure with like green lights indicating proper exposure and red lights indicating over or under exposure, which is certainly a plus. Now, availability hasn't been announced just yet, but it will cost around $319, and it looks like it will be available outside of China for once, because they did give the U.S. price. That's
Great.
it for that story.
Good story.
I think that'll actually kind of be pretty cool.
Okay,
I
shoots
feel like
Instax.
Sutter would love that.
I mean, I like that cameras are now adapting Instax film.
yeah.
Where
It's kind of like the standard for the instant print now.
yeah, exactly.
Minus Impossible Film.
I
but
mean,
we
I
already
can't
talked about
say that I
last
would
week.
get a twin lens reflex instant camera, but the fact that
Certainly
people
not practical, but-
are building off
Yeah.
of what great film is already available.
Now, if Rolleiflex actually did this and didn't go
They're
out of
out of
business,
business.
that would be different. Nikon has announced a new camera, the Nikon 1J5, their latest compact mirrorless
Johnny number 5.
interchangeable lens
J
camera.
stands for Johnny, and the 5 stands for 5.
Now highlights
1, 2, 3, 4. Johnny number 5.
spec-wise, it includes a new 20.8 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor, X-Speed 5A processor.
BSI.
BSI.
Well, let's figure out what BSI stands for.
BSI.
BSI. What do you think it stands for?
BSI. I don't know. I have no idea.
Bicubic
Symmetrical.
interlaced
Sounds
sensor.
good. But it also has built-in Wi-Fi and NFC, a touchscreen LCD display, which is nice, ISO range of 160 to 12,800, which I thought was kind of odd, 1080p video at 60 frames per second, another new standard. Now, MSRP for the standard kit lens, which will be the 10 to 30 millimeter
You cannot get good pictures with a kit lens.
5.6. It'll be about $499.
Which is cheap.
And 95 cents.
Now, these things are unbelievable for autofocus. Like the 170-point autofocus systems are insane for video, but why are they using such a small sensor? Like, that's the thing. I still never understood in any of the J systems why they use such a small sensor.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, no word on availability for this yet either, but I'm sure it will be very soon.
We'll get to see it, Dab.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have it out for NAB.
NAB.
NAB. Red Rock has a new autofocus tracking system that will really help out the one-man band guys like us, especially Steadicam operators specifically. The system continuously tracks focus on any subject and between subjects with no human interaction needed. It works on any camera and lens too, and focuses on any type of subject, not just faces.
I mean, geez. I mean, I would hope it's going to focus on anything you want.
It doesn't depend on light for focus either. This is really cool. It uses sound waves to find focusing distances, so it could pretty much focus. Isn't that radar? Well, that's sound waves.
That's sonar.
So it could focus in complete darkness, which is huge.
Yeah, great. It's gonna focus in complete darkness because now your camera can't pick it up.
Well, you don't know if you want like a silhouette image or something like that. Now, this will be extremely beneficial to those that don't have a dedicated focus puller or just can't afford one. There's a behind-the-scenes video of the prototype at work.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's used on a Movi and like a 5D Mark III, I think.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
the
Mark
article
II.
the article said Mark II,
But it was Mark
and the
III.
video said Mark III.
That's
so
why I wasn't
somebody
sure.
did not proofread.
Yeah.
You proofreading people, I don't proofread.
So
Yes,
is
sir?
it like mounting the hot shoe? And
You
like
can mount on a
have-
hot shoe, but basically it's mounting around the actual lens barrel.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like a focus puller, but it automatically pulls for you.
Interesting.
Now, let me finish this. In the video, they shoot at f2 with just a solo operator.
pretty good.
And f2 would even be difficult for an experienced focus puller to pull off.
Funny, Eckert.
So funny. But yeah, I mean, it looked like it was pretty spot on for the commercial. Now, they did say it's tough because it really only focuses on what's in the middle of the frame. So your framing has to be kind of stuck on that for now for the prototype.
I'm stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aids are stuck on me.
Now, I'm sure this will be something that Red Rock will show off at NAB.
I just got paid by Band-Aid brand.
Nice. Cha-ching. There are similar options out there, though, from other companies, but they are pretty crazy expensive. So hopefully this one will be a little more inexpensive
We get to
when
see
it does
it
actually come out. Yeah,
At NAB.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to go to NAB.
Well, this will be great to have for what we do, too.
Well, I don't know how much it is.
Yeah, if it's more on the inexpensive side.
They have that one-man crew thing that we're going to take a look at. The one
Yeah.
thing that has lasers. We're
lasers? Freaking laser beams?
lasers. Yeah, we're gonna freaking
laser
lasers.
beams on their heads.
We're gonna be playing with lots of toys. So you guys, if you never heard of NAB or interested in the video side of things or just cool toys that are out there, we are gonna bring you a show from there because we are getting paid to go there by Audio Blocks, Video Blocks, and Graphic Stock. So when we're at the bar drinking at night with Todd, you and I, we can say thank you, Video Blocks, for paying for our alcohol and hotel room.
What does NAB stand for?
National Aeronautics Business Bureau Association.
Did you just make that up?
That was NABA.
Nababa.
Kind of similar to what NAMBLA is. If anybody knows what NAMBLA is,
I don't.
you don't want to know because Stern used to talk about NAMBLA. It's bad.
Rated R.
No.
NC-17.
No. It's
Worse?
rated pedophilia.
Oh,
God.
It's bad. That just reminded me of Stern. They called to the NAMBLA headquarters and heard the voicemail and it wasn't a voicemail at the time. It was the answering machine. It's bad.
Sounds terrible.
NAMBLA. I don't even think I would
The
Google.
name sounds
I don't even think I
terrible.
would. It's something. I'll just say it. It's just something relating to older men that love little boys.
The priests.
No, that's That's oh my God! No, you didn't. Our priest following is going to yell at you.
Joke. It's a joke.
That's racist.
Oh shit.
Is that more like prejudice?
That's prejudice.
It's a stereotype. That's what it is.
There we go.
That's very stereotypical.
It is very stereotypical. That's why it's a joke. So, PhotoFlex has officially closed their doors after being in business for 30 years. Cue Jared flexing his muscles. The announcement comes unexpected with
on
layoff.
April 1st.
Well, yes, but the announcement is still there on their homepage, so it looks to be legit. They had some layoff notices being handed down to employees just days before the public announcement, so I'm sure that's not a joke.
Yeah.
The company is known for their...
Ha ha! Gotcha.
2 weeks later. Just kidding.
You have a job.
The company is known for their inexpensive reflectors, soft boxes,
I have
umbrellas.
a softbox over
I
there.
have, I think, like a reflector from them.
One of the first ones I bought was a PhotoFlex.
Yeah, they have stands, flashes, constant lights, a bunch more.
continuous lights.
Continuous lights, not lice.
Lice.
The company ended their
Lights,
legacy.
stay away from me.
The company ended their legacy with a thank you. They said, "We want to extend our thanks to all of our supporters over the last 30 years and wish you all the best in the future." Now, ironically, the announcement was made, like we said, on April Fool's Day.
They
but
extended
it. Still
it.
exists there, so it seems to be legit. What are you?
I
you're
extended
extending your
the selfie stick. This is more like, you could be, if you're blind.
Walking stick. Blind photographer. Wait, take a selfie. Oh. As Jared bumps into the wheel for
As he smashes his phone all over the ground.
breaks the window.
The phone is on the ground beeping. Beep, beep.
That would be great. A new Arkansas bill almost got put into the put into play that would have nearly prohibited street photography. The bill titled SB 79.
That was a good flash.
The personal
That's the flash right before SB 80.
The Personal Rights Protection Act would have required photographers to get written consent from a stranger to feature their likeness in a photograph for most purposes. Exemptions would have included advertisements, political or newsworthy photos, photos in which the individual is not named or singled out, and a couple more specific cases.
So that would have been the PRPA.
The PRPA, correct. Did you have to write that out to figure it out?
I did.
The bill was initially passed, but later in the same day vetoed by Governor Asa. I'm not sure how to pronounce it,
Probably Asia.
but it's a guy.
Well, his last name could be Asia.
Asa Hutchinson, I'm going to say.
Oh, Asia Hutchinson.
Asa Hutchinson.
Asia
The
Hutchinson.
letter he wrote to the Arkansas Senate says he vetoed it because in its current form, it is overbroad, vague, and will have the effect of restricting free speech. He added that he fears it would have resulted in suppressing the public who engage in artistic expression from photography to artwork. He says that the many photographers who wrote in...
I have a question. Would that have been surveillance cameras too?
I don't know. That might have been part of the exemptions.
Oh, well, no.
list.
How could it be exempt? I'm being surveillanced.
I know, but I'm just wondering if that's a security issue or what. But it makes you wonder.
Things that make you go,
Oh, yeah. Now, he says, again, that the many photographers who wrote in to voice their complaints influenced his decision, which is really great. Now, the veto can be overridden by the legislator if a simple majority in both houses agree to it. You can read the governor's full letter, though, to the Senate over on the website, which is...
FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-127.
Correct.
Are you done with that story?
I'm done with that story.
Does that remember when we talked about the wedding photographer opting to not do the gay couple's wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the talk has been about Indiana passing that law that talks about Religious Freedom Act that allows people to say that they don't have to serve somebody that they don't want to serve, whether they're gay, straight, black, white, Asian, Muslim, Jew, whatever, if they deem that they don't believe in it because of their religion.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, it is one of the worst things you could ever do. It's pretty damn bad.
Wow.
Well, from what I've heard, that wasn't the intent of what they were doing.
What was the intent?
But
they didn't want it
passed
to violate any sort of civil rights ideas, but they wanted to put out religious
Sounds
freedom.
like it is.
There's religious freedom. Don't get me started on religious freedom.
I'm not trying to stir up anything.
Not
but-
you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just in general. I'm not yelling at you.
Got it.
I'm just saying
they are trying to fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah, they're trying to
Texas
fix
has
it.
a similar bill, but they have like a clause, which I forget what it is.
I love
but,
Texas.
But they have a thing where it can't be
I'm gonna
whatever
get crap
religious
for saying I
freedom
love
can't
Texas.
say anything and like be bad in any civil rights sort of way. I don't know how to explain it.
You can't. How about just having common decency and just knowing that people are people. I watched something last night.
Everyone's different.
I watched something. Right. Well, they're different. People are different.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But I watched last night the Scientology thing called Going Clear on HBO. What an unbelievable documentary that gives you a look inside of that religion, quote unquote.
I watched the South Park episode on that. That explained everything really well to me.
Probably did in 30 minutes, but or less than that.
22 minutes.
They got deemed a religious institute, like a church.
Yeah.
So they don't have to. They owed like $2 billion in taxes.
What do they call it when they get deemed? Like, is that like accredited?
It's
like a school?
No, it's an exemption.
Exemption?
Yeah, it's tax exemption.
Well, I mean, like when you're actually considered a religion.
Tax exemption. It's a religious.
But I mean, like, what's it called?
Tax exemption. I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
it's called, but I am for no religions getting a tax exemption whatsoever. Every religion should be paying property tax.
Uh-oh.
Is
Papa
it- is
Dukes
it the
calling.
My phone is ringing. Excuse
Right on
me.
time during RAWtalk.
It's my dad. Hi, Dad. We were filming.
Oh, hey, Jared.
And that was a phone call from my dad.
Expected.
Yeah, because, he was going to be here at 3:30, and now he hasn't even left home yet. Anyway, I don't think religions should have the ability to buy real estate. Like, that's what they talked about strongly with sociologists, Scientologists, is that they just buy real estate around the world.
Really?
And they've amassed an unbelievable amount of real estate holdings because they don't have to pay taxes on it. It's unbelievable. And it's the same thing with every religion. I think everybody should pay taxes, especially in this country, because we have a separation of church and state. I don't think anybody should be exempt
Well,
from that.
That's what it comes down
Like,
to. Separation between church
right,
and state,
the church
yet
or
they still get
religion
exempt.
doesn't have a place in government. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't get exemptions from it. Mm-hmm. People, there would be a lot of money.
That would be a lot more money, yes.
But I also
Because the church is a business.
I mean, I can see both sides,
Technically.
but if it's like a small church and like they're only getting donations that kind of keep it running, and they're not gonna have, they may not make enough in the church to pay for the
that's
taxes.
no religious institution should be tax exempt.
I agree. I understand.
They're
the
all
other side.
businesses.
Yeah. Anyway, moving forward.
All
enough of
businesses.
this religion talk.
Welcome to Religion Talk.
This is really neat, though. Photographer Pascal, not the one you know, Colser, built an automated slide film scanner out of Legos. The do-it-yourself scanner takes a set of slide film, pushes them one at a time under a DSLR, where they're backlit, photographed, and then transferred into a computer with no extra help needed. It's pretty much like an automated assembly line. Now, he posted a behind-the-scenes video showcasing the entire process and explains how it was built if you want to replicate it yourself. He also posted some images that he scanned from the actual scanner, which look pretty decent. They're not the best because of the backlight issue, but they're still pretty good.
Well, I've done this before. I took my mom's old slides.
Yeah, it's not
I had a
that
60
hard
millimeter
to-
macro Nikon because they have a slide adapter for that.
Mm-hmm.
You put the slide adapter on the one side. I put a strobe behind it in a soft box, and I would focus on the slide, and this was with the D3, and I would shoot the file. Tethered it right. Actually, tethered was way too slow back at the time when I was doing this.
Yeah.
So I would just shoot it to the card. It was in focus, and now I had a RAW file of the slide.
That's what he did, yeah.
Unbelievable what you can do with the RAW file. What you can pull out of that RAW
Oh, yeah.
file from a freaking slide from 1968.
Yeah, I got to do that with my dad's slides. He has a ton from his dad.
Well, why don't we make a video about it?
Maybe we will. The thing I love about this is it's literally an automated slide scanner, so he can just put a whole stack of
I get it, and it
things
moves
just
and
moves
shoots.
it, just drops them into a little tray
Yeah.
when they're all done that he can just collect. It's really
Legos.
cool. I mean, you can build almost anything from Legos these days. Amazon has announced 2 new unlimited cloud storage subscription plans, which really benefits creators like photographers. One plan is truly unlimited and lets you store any amount and type of file for $59.99 a year. It's called Unlimited Everything. The other, called Prime Photos, is unlimited as well, but only for photographs. This plan comes in at $12 a year. Now, if you're current Prime...
It costs you more money? I thought if you had Prime...
Let me get to that. That's just $12 a year if you don't have Prime.
Oh.
Because I was going to say, if you're a current Prime subscriber like myself and you, Prime Photos comes included. If you're not, then it'll cost you $12 a year, which is only $1 a month. I mean, that's really affordable.
$1 a month, people, to
$1
have
a month.
extra backup. Now,
Cloud backup.
I
yeah.
paid for the $59.99 so that I can store anything.
Well, you have videos. That's
I have
different.
videos, I have
Yeah.
files, like everything that's on Dropbox, I put up there, and I've already uploaded. Now, it's a slow process. It's a very slow. I have probably, if you take
And
into
you
account,
have fast upload speed too.
yeah, but then it's also you have to take into account their pipeline,
yeah,
what
how
how
fast
they
they're
can
letting
write
you
it and all
upload.
that. And I've done almost a terabyte, and it's been a week.
Wow.
But I'm not letting it. I'm not just dragging and dropping the whole thing.
You're doing just little
because what
bit
happens
at
if
a
I need to
time.
reset the computer? There's some quirky things to it, like the uploading thing. You can't even tell it what folders to go into. That's why I'm using the web interface, because then I could pick the folder to go into. So that's uploading, and I've done lots and lots of gigabytes. It's probably 900, almost a terabyte of stuff. My point, what I'm trying
can you
to do.
pause it or anything or stop it midway, or does it have to complete the transfer?
It mostly has to finish completely.
Okay.
At least from what I've seen. I'm just going down, grabbing a stack of folders, dropping it in, letting it go for 4 or 5 hours, doing it again, making sure it has enough stuff for overnight so it's still going. It's going to take, because Trevor was doing this when I got to California, and it was going to take like 50 days to do his like 2 or 3 terabytes.
Well, that's the
50
big
days.
main transfer, right?
Right,
Yeah.
so this is the thing. I'm just going to
The initial transfer.
transfer, and once it's all caught up in months,
Mm-hmm.
6 months, then every time I do something new, after it's done, automate it, set it to go up into Amazon. Now, this isn't meant to be your secondary storage. Now, for $12 a year, maybe it is.
This to me is the off-site storage.
Well, it's the offsite storage. It should put Backblaze out of business, or could put
I don't know
Backblaze,
who they are.
Carbonite, any of these companies
the
that
cloud
let you
backup.
store.
Yeah.
If Amazon's giving you this option, sure, their software
for
is
this price too.
if their software is not up to par yet, but it will be. and it's Amazon, so I rather go with them. And that Mylio, which I still don't understand. Remember they were pushing that
I haven't
Mylio?
checked it
Still
out.
don't understand Mylio, but look, I'm using it as another option. I still want an offsite at my dad's house, and I still want to do to get all this up into the cloud.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Many places as possible.
Does is it similar with Dropbox where you can have like share folders
I don't
where
think you can
multiple users can get into the same folder?
Organize
So
it.
you can share certain things, but somebody sent me the terms of services, and they're like, this isn't good. It says that you can't use it as a way to serve files to somebody else, which is fine. Which is fine because that's why they have Amazon S3. This is just a storage thing. If you want to start sharing files, I'll pay the $100 for Dropbox a year already. I'll still keep Dropbox for doing those transfers because Dropbox for us transferring stuff
It's
to
so
Todd,
fast.
like, I'll just put video there. And
well,
then he
we've
can
also
download
used
it.
MediaFire for quite some time, and that tends to be a lot slower as far as just upload speed and download.
Yeah, not good.
Dropbox is like, bam.
Yeah, I use Dropbox for all my clients. It's like I just put all their pictures in a folder, name it whatever their job was, and then just email them the link. They click top right corner, downloads right to their computer, and I'm done.
My only thought about this is if I do upload my entire library of stuff, it comes down to, can I find it when I actually need it? You know, whatever I need.
Yeah, the organizational thing still needs to be.
Can you organize it just like folders?
It's organized
on
in
a-
folders right now. I'm
Okay.
uploading it in folders.
Okay, so
and
it
so
just shows
there.
up, displays like folders, like you have it on your desktop or wherever.
I don't know how you
stored.
download everything. I hope I never need to download anything. That's
Now,
the point.
Let me just finish more on that story. Now, as far as image formats go, you can upload JPEGs, your favorite, DNGs, and they say most RAW formats, photography-wise, including Nikon NEF files, Canon CR2 files, and Sony ARW files, but they say that that list is not definitive. To upload, you can download their desktop app like you have been doing and just start uploading. They also have a mobile app for iOS and Android, which lets you access all of your data on the go, but I'm not sure if that means just viewing it or downloading it, as in like you can share it.
I'm not sure what that is.
I think you can just access it as in like if I have a picture on here and I want to show you, bam, I can show you. But it is nice to have that mobile platform.
My
as well.
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they say, "Damn right, it's better than yours."
Two more
Treat you,
stories.
but
I
I'd
do have a
to
quick question before you move on.
What's up?
Sorry. You know how with Dropbox, everything you put in your Dropbox also saves onto your hard drive?
Yeah.
Is this fully a cloud system?
that? I don't know. That'd be
Well,
a question
yes.
for Jared because you've been using it.
Well, with Dropbox, I copy into Dropbox. I rarely ever drag it.
Well, when
to
you
it?
save anything in the Dropbox, copying or anything,
makes it
it saves it also on your hard drive in your Dropbox folder.
Basically making double the space, correct? It's taking up double the
It's
space.
taking double space
Yeah.
on your computer, but it's also
MediaFire
in the
does that
storage.
too. When you download their desktop
Or in
app,
your
it's a
cloud.
pain in the ass, and I don't like
Well,
that.
Amazon's definitely not doing that.
So it's 100% cloud, nothing on your hard drive.
Well, yeah, because then you'd just blow up your hard drive with terabytes of information.
I mean, that's kind of what Dropbox
That's what Dropbox is, yeah.
Oh.
New York will be digitizing and releasing historical crime scene photos to the public. The New York Times reports that the National Endowment for the Humanities has announced a $125,000 grant that will allow the Department of Records and Information Services in New York to digitize 30,000 photos taken between 1914 and 1975 by NYPD photo unit officers. That would
Dennis
be a cool
Franz?
job.
Dennis Franz?
I think so.
Do you know who Dennis Franz was?
I don't, but I believe...
NYPD Blue.
Is that what you're talking about?
We used to watch the show.
I used to love it. He was the
NYPD
guy.
Blue.
He looked
He
like
was the angry guy.
He looked like the penguin from Batman.
A little bit. I forget Dennis Franz was his name, but I forget the name of his character.
I do
Sutter.
too. My
Google
parents used to watch
NYPD Blue characters.
I don't know anything.
No, Google.
Oh.
Google.
I thought you were asking me if I knew anybody.
No,
like
I said Google.
I did like that show a lot, though.
Dennis- what was
NYC
Dennis-
Blue?
NYPD Blue.
NYPD.
Now, while you're looking that up, let me just finish this. The New York City Department of Records says that 2,000 of the photos were captured by the city's Emergency Services Unit from 1928 through 1941. Now, Municipal Archives Deputy Director Michael Lorenzini tells the New York Times, the police photographers more than held their own. These guys are well-trained photographers. The prints will be scanned starting in July of this year and will be made available for viewing through the Municipal Archives online gallery. Anyway, NYPD Blue.
I can't tell which is real name and cast name, but Dennis Franz,
Yeah.
Gordon Clapp.
Dennis is his real name.
I was
right?
asking you what Dennis,
What's his
what
character?
role he played.
Andy Sipowicz.
Oh,
Andy?
Sipowicz.
Yeah, that's it.
Sipowicz. I'm Andy Sipowicz. I will punch you in the face if you do not tell me who committed the crime.
I just remember he always had a kid that he came home to, right? Like his son or something. He was like a younger kid, and then toward the end of the series,
I recall.
I just remember that was
vaguely.
always a part of the story as well. I was really young when
Andy
when my
Sipowicz.
parents would watch this.
Okay, so speaking of shows when we were young, you may not have watched this show, and you definitely didn't watch this show.
What show?
Life Goes On.
I got nothing.
Corky Thatcher.
Yeah.
Becca. Corky Thatcher was a character who had Down syndrome, and so it was like a real life. It was Life Goes On. It was, I guess, life. I don't know. Becca was the daughter. She was like Daria.
Why do you remember Becca?
Because she looked like Daria.
Ooh, wait.
Daria.
Becca.
She looked like Daria.
Becca. Ooh.
Winnie Cooper was mine. Winnie Cooper. So anytime that anybody has a Mini Cooper, I just call it a Winnie Cooper. So you take the Mini, the M, you turn it around, you get Winnie Cooper.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Last news story, Facebook launched a new feature for parents called Scrapbook. The new feature lets parents basically create a digital customizable scrapbook by tagging their kids who don't have their own accounts.
Tag, you're it.
Which basically it's like children that are under 13 years old. I didn't know you had to be 13 to sign up for Facebook.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I was in college when I first signed
MySpace
up when it
was
was
the
only
same
college.
way.
Yeah. But like AOL Instant Messenger, you didn't have to be 13.
Oh, you had to be like 18.
Or you just lied, I
Yeah,
guess. Maybe that's what
why
it was.
wouldn't you just lie? They
Yeah.
can't prove it.
What is your, like, when Sutter's going to the porn site and it's like, what year were you born? And you know exactly what they're asking. And so he's just like, well,
Let me add on a couple of years.
let me just say I was born in 1976.
In a survey, Facebook says the company found that 65% of parents simply tag their children with their partner's name. Parents also expressed that they wish to collect photos of their kids in a place that will grow with them over the years. So they wanted a solution to all of this.
Yeah, here's a solution. I don't want to be friends with you. No, sorry.
Wait.
Of you constantly posting your kids'
Every time
pictures.
somebody, and look, I don't have any kids, so I don't know
That's
the.
when they make the profile picture of the kid.
I don't know the joys.
Oh, God.
I don't know the joys of having a child and being very proud and wanting to post a picture. But there's some people out there that every day they're
Oh my
posting
God.
another picture, like happy 12 weeks old.
Yep.
Happy 7 months. Happy 28
7
years.
months, one day.
You know, it's just like stop dressing your kid up with wigs and taking pictures. It's like a human prop.
It really is.
And then my favorite, my friend, I shot their wedding, but I think I finally stopped following her because she's just like, kid's name, won't say the kid's name, didn't have an accident today or hasn't had an accident in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't had an accident in 3. I was like, give me a freaking cookie.
when they're just putting out super personal stuff out there.
Excuse me, as my
your
dad is
calls
calling.
again.
So
Yellow
when they
Dad. Hold on, Sutter. My dad was just letting me know that he's on his way.
Calling again.
So when the kid makes the Facebook when they're 13, does it tag all of those photos of them?
That's what I'm wondering. They didn't get specific about that because it is still rolling out. It's a pilot program. But I don't know.
Because that would be embarrassing. Like as soon as you make your Facebook, it's like bathtub baby pictures are automatically
You've got
like
1,000 pictures of
Dude,
just...
Yeah.
I want to share my bathtub baby because I have a bucket on my head in the bathtub. My brother and I are both in the bathtub. We've got me.
Why don't you just post it?
Potty training. So I was looking at these
And then
photos.
you can put the date on your timeline that says born.
if there's
and then it
anything
says, like,
there-
Jared's one.
There's a video. There's a photo of me sitting on the toilet
Yeah.
on like the special little seat thing that was
goes
for the toilet.
inside the
Squatty
seat a
potty?
little bit.
It wasn't a squatty potty, but I'm sitting there. I got curly freaking hair, and I'm like this. And then I looked closer at the photo, and it's back focused.
Oh my God.
My mom's
only you
camera
would
misfocused.
say that.
Well, no, because
Let me
remember when I
not
was,
cherish this moment. Let me...
remember when I was ripping on? I did a post where I was like, people are, kids are gonna look back at their terrible cell phone pictures that their parents took and realize how bad they were. And then I went back into the basement. I'm like, oh, it was back focused. So the same thing applied.
Yeah, I mean, they're family pictures. It's whatever.
Well, the bathtub pictures, you could always get the little cat emojis and put them over anything that's shouldn't be there.
The cat emojis.
Well, he's just trying to say if you were standing up and your
In the
penis
bathtub.
was showing, that you put an emoji over it
It'd be-
because somebody's going to call it pedophilia
Your little
when it's really
wee-wee?
just a kid's picture. All right, go. Come on, before we go
let's
down the
see.
wrong path.
So,
which is the whole show.
Here's how it works. Parents can create special tags for their children and then add those tags to their photographs. Photos tagged with the special tags can be shared with both parents, friends on Facebook. You'll also be able to invite friends and family members to subscribe to a scrapbook so they can then contribute too. Now, the parents are also fully in control of which photos to tag their kids in. So if like your
of course
crazy
they are.
uncle
How about
posts
this?
pictures of you,
Don't upload it.
yeah, you don't have to tag
The
them.
crazy uncle.
I'm crazy, Eddie.
And you can opt to co-own the scrapbook with a partner who you're in a relationship with on Facebook as well, so they can join in tagging and all that stuff.
So wait a second.
What?
Does this mean that Sutter and Leanne
They could have a scrapbook.
can have a scrapbook of
future-
Inspector Dale Cooper?
They could.
Ooh.
They totally could. And the tag, you can tag them whatever you want. It could be a nickname, their real
Dick.
name, initials. That too. Now, to start a scrapbook for
Mistake.
your child or hedgehog, I guess you can start it for.
Sure.
What you're going to do is you're going to go to your profile, click on About, and click on Family and Relationships. There you'll see an invitation
means
to
you
create
can
a
have
scrapbook.
dogs.
Yeah, you could. Just click Get Started when you
All right.
click Create a Scrapbook. And if you've already added a child to your profile, you can click Add Scrapbook next to his or her name, I guess next to family.
You're only allowed to have one child. This is China.
Now, the feature is currently a pilot program and is being rolled out to users only in the U.S. right now on
Only
desktop.
being rolled out to pilots on U.S. Air and Southwest.
Desktop, iOS, and Android devices. So we'll see if this actually becomes...
Well, they're playing for the future.
Yeah.
Because they've lost the kid market.
Mhm.
Facebook is an adult market.
It is.
Their kids have abandoned it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Whatever.
Mhm. But I mean, this is good. I think of like my brother, for example. He always has to post, like, he has to tag my sister-in-law.
Yeah, he already did.
He has to tag
Whoa,
her, like if
yeah.
he posts a picture of my niece, because then he wants her family to see all the photos
Sure.
as well. And so
I
it's
get
kind
it.
of nice place to have everything in order, and just to, I'm sure you can have like privacy settings on here just to show your family alone, and that's it, and not have that annoying person post a picture every 5 seconds of their child.
I've stopped following people. Just like
I have too.
And it's not just
Totally.
children. I have this friend. She moved to Colorado, so every 12 seconds was a photo of weed, and it's like, we get it. You live in Colorado and you like smoking weed, but I didn't tell her that I was tired of seeing it. I just unfollowed her because that's her prerogative.
Well, you're
You know?
still friends, right? You just clicked the unfollow button, or did you unfriend her?
I just clicked
no,
the unfollow button. I
No,
don't
this is
unfriend
Instagram.
them. I thought you were talking about
okay.
Facebook.
No,
Yeah.
Facebook. I don't even. Oh, I just get rid of people.
Oh,
on
Facebook you can just unfollow.
Yeah. So is that
That's it for-
ending photo news music?
Oh, there's music. I hope there is.
Make enough. Is that the end of photo news?
That's the end of photo news. Yeah.
All right. So coming up now that we're 28 years into this episode.
Yeah, short episode, right?
Short episode. I invited my dad down to be on RAWtalk. One, because we're going to go have pizza at Pizzeria Badia, and that pizza is really good, and he's always wanted to try it, and he hasn't come down on a day that they've been open. And I so happen to have back my results from my Ancestry.com DNA tests, and we're going to find out more about me next on FroKnowsPhoto
Coming
RAWtalk.
up.
Coming back after the messages, I will be sitting here with my dad, and we will go over my DNA tests. Welcome back.
I don't know if you're going to feel the same way when we're done with this.
Yeah, so how you feeling today?
Just wonderful, thank you. It's been an extraordinarily interesting day.
Why?
Well, because if you're not dumping on me, your brother's dumping on me.
What do you
It's
mean
just,
dumping on
it's,
you?
It's just a wonderful thing.
What do you mean dumping on
I
you?
mean, every once in a while, I have to remind your brother who the father is.
Oh, so it had nothing to do. So now you're letting it rain down because you're saying Jay was giving you shit, and now you're giving me shit because you think I'm giving you shit, but I'm not giving you shit.
That's easy for you
All
to say.
I said was
Next
you're not wearing a
question.
belt. And I need to know why you're not wearing a belt.
I'm not wearing a belt because my ass used to be big enough where it would hold up my pants. But my ass went away a few years ago, and now my pants do the same thing. They go away.
Do you need a belt?
Not today, thank you. I could use a shot, but not necessarily a belt.
You don't drink. You don't drink.
What?
You don't drink.
Okay.
So talk about your back because you had this thing.
Yes, I'm dating this young lady. I shouldn't say dating. She happens to be my girlfriend.
Oh.
And Honey is kind of special, and she has a store in Newtown called Soul Lutions, SOUL Lutions. Yeah, so I've been having some issues with my lower back. I think I'm having some sciatica problems. So she has these crystal cards all over the place. And I happened to go into a box just for the heck of it because she has samples all over the place of full boxes of cards. And I decided to pick a card. And it says on there, despite the fact that it looks like
Eggs.
2 eggs in a pan, this glyph can energize and rejuvenate the lower dantian, if that's the way it's pronounced, below the navel, and snow mountain areas lower back. This can help to energize the body and enhance the immune system. So
you believe it?
I don't necessarily believe it, but because I picked it, there's no reason to disbelieve it.
So is it like when you get a fortune cookie that says you'll be nice today, that you believe it?
No.
Well, do you believe this stuff?
Do I believe this stuff? I don't disbelieve this stuff. And
where'd my cynicism come from?
Where did your cynicism come from? Well, listen, I'm a skeptic. But a skeptic is a little bit different than totally disbelieving. I am skeptical of it. I don't necessarily disbelieve it. I don't certainly believe it unless it's proven to me one way or the other. So this is kind of an interesting little glyph.
I don't know what a glyph is.
I don't know what a glyph is either, but it says it here. So it's glyph 99. There's actually 99 cards in this pack. I picked number 99 from the middle, which is really kind of funny. And it says, you have to say this affirmation if you wish it to work. It says, as I feel the breath of the divine energy flowing through me, I express my gratitude. I accept myself as a part of source energy and hold myself in the light. Amen.
Well, we have Passover coming. Who's running the Seder?
I believe that Honey is going to be running the Seder.
I told the story of Passover earlier.
I'm afraid to hear the outcome.
Well, I'm not. The Jews wandered the desert for 40 years.
Correct. The land of milk and honey.
What's that from? Isn't that a song from like the 501 Gum Company or whatever Fruit and Gum Company?
That was the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. You're only off by a few years. So outside
what song did they sing?
I don't know.
Sutter fruit.
I got love in my tummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. And
we got him to sing already, Stephen. It's a beautiful thing. We're 3 minutes into this freaking interview, and he's already, exercising his vocal
Do you know
cords.
why you're here?
Welcome to my life.
I know. Why am I here? I'm here because you did a search.
No, DNA test.
Oh, did you have you did a DNA test?
Yeah.
Did you actually swab the inside of your cheeky?
I think I just had to spit into a vial.
Oh God, that was vile in itself.
Yeah. I had a cold at the time too.
Oh, cool. Really? So I hope nobody was transmitted your diseases.
Well, I hope if they're handling saliva, they're doing it properly,
and at least washing their hands of the saliva.
That's true.
So no. So was this through Ancestry.com as well?
Yeah, they offer a kit because you can set up the family trees and type in date of death and birth and whatever, and then you can connect with other people if you want to. But you do the DNA test so that it tells you your origins, where you're from, and things like that. And then it tells you here's your 5th to 8th cousin or something.
Oh, that's cool. So you want to see if the fro actually has any origination from Africa? Is that basically what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I was trying to see if I was black. Yes.
If you had any black blood.
If I had any black blood, and this test was going to tell me.
Okay.
Like Maury Povich. Are we ready to get there?
Oh, absolutely. I'm fascinated, which is why I don't doubt this stuff. It's because I'm fascinated by all these things.
So it's
really interesting?
So you had that in the back of your pants, though.
That is correct. It says to place it against the area of the body that is infirmed, so to speak. So
card number 69 is a
no. This is 99. It's not a 69.
Because where would you put that card?
Well, depends on your friend. So
do they have impotence cards?
I don't have that issue, so I really didn't.
I wasn't asking. I was just
non-filtered again. Go ahead. Would you seriously save me here?
Anyways,
save me from myself.
I will. But the one other question I had that you brought up earlier was: Is your hair okay?
I don't know. Is it? I put all 4 strands in a specific location, so it makes me look not totally bald, only semi.
Do you know what was funny? I was going through old unlisted videos on the site, or just on YouTube.
Old unlisted videos.
They're not public, but people, if they had the link,
are
they
these
could see
videos
it.
that you did?
Well, yeah, it was your dad and Uncle Sal sitting here.
Right.
I just was watching. It's funny as hell. It is a funny video to watch.
It is a funny video.
Your dad and Saul together are like frickin' frack.
It's a treat.
It is funny. I never put that
a
public,
treat.
but I sent it just to the family.
Okay.
All right, so now it's time to see if I am your child. That wasn't the test.
No, that wasn't the test because I would have had to do the DNA for...
Okay, let's start here. I have 0% Melanesia. I have 0% Polynesia.
Which means that you don't come from Asia, is
don't-
basically what you're saying.
But wait, there's 3% West Asian.
What's the difference between Melanesia and Polynesia?
One is
Meli and one is Poly.
Exactly.
Seriously, you should have discussed. You should have done something. Get Siri on the phone and see what the difference is between Melanesia and Polynesia.
We could Google it, Sutter. Melanesia and Polynesia.
Is it Melanesia? MELA?
MELA. Go ahead, spell it.
Nesia. ESIA.
Wait, hold on.
Melanesia.
Go ahead. Its origin word is from the melon of Asia. Go ahead, spell Melanesia.
MELA, Melanesia, NESIA. Because Polynesia would be POLYNESIA.
That's correct. I can't ding you for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So that brings up spelling.
See, obviously that didn't translate into your DNA.
What spelling?
Spelling.
What makes you say that?
Because you may be one of the worst spellers in the history. You got that from your Uncle Stan, if that's a relevant name that we're...
I got his hair, too.
Yeah, I know. You got his hair.
But I didn't get his
Thank God you didn't get his
fatness.
personality. What a dork. Anyhow, that's for publication. I could say a lot worse, but I won't go there.
Well, so about my spelling?
No.
Okay.
I can still go there.
There's 3% West Asia. Whatever trace region is, says 3%. I don't know what Caucasia is.
Well, Caucasia should be the majority of...
Caucasus.
Caucasus.
Yeah, that. Caucasus. Oh, my bad. It's not Caucasia.
No, it's not Caucasia.
Oh, shit. I thought this said Middle Earth, 0%. I thought it meant hobbits. It actually says Middle East.
You should have a percentage, I would imagine, from the Middle East, I would
0%
say.
Middle East.
Really? That's interesting.
We are not Sephardic at all.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
The largest region. So here, let's get to the main. You want to see what Africa is?
Eastern Europe.
All right. Other regions tested. Asia South, 0%. Europe, 96% from Europe.
That's what I said. It has to be European.
And then they list European Jewish. 86% European Jewish. And it just listed it showed a picture of the whole region.
Right.
Iberian Peninsula, 7%. Whatever trace regions is 3%. Italy/Greece is 2%. Great Britain is 1%. Asian Central, 1%. Asia East, 1%. Asia is 1%. And we are not Native American. There is no Navajo in us.
I was looking for the Cherokee portion, not the Navajo portion.
Cherokee woman.
See that? Everything that you say evokes... it's funny. I do the same thing with Honey. She'll say something that is a lyric to a song, and I automatically begin belting out a song. That is very funny. Did you do the same thing? Wow. We must be father and son.
0% African.
Oh, well.
I thought I had some black in me.
You can't win them all, baby.
I thought we had some there, but we don't. I mean, that's really all they told us, and I'm highly disappointed in that $99 that's all it told me.
That's all it gave you?
Seriously, that's all it gives you.
Wow, that's not exactly... Now, if you go Ancestry.com online and you type in your name...
It's not public. I don't want my information public. Who would want to put their information public so people could see their family origin?
Is someone actually able to hack that and get that information?
Well,
or is it something that's specific for you?
Well, they give you the option of putting your information public.
Oh, and what happens if you decline the option?
Then it doesn't go public.
Duh. Hello. So why wouldn't you do that compared to spending $100?
No,
which gave you something that you already knew. Well, that it was 96% European.
Well, now
and
I know.
86% Jewish European.
That's a lot of Jew in us. What's the other percentage of non-Jew? I don't know what that makes up. Steven.
Trace elements.
Are you disappointed in the results?
I mean, it pretty much already told me what I know.
Right, because you did it too.
I thought it would give me more.
Right. It didn't give you anything that was over the top.
Yeah.
Was there an option to have additional things done at an additional cost?
I didn't see any upsells there. But I guess if you're like an adopted person and you're really not sure who your family is, that could be.
But you're only going to find out where you're from. You're not going to find out anything about your family.
No, you'll find out where you're from. But if they are actually getting DNA at some point and they're creating a database, they do try to connect you.
They would match it up.
Like they are matching
That's true.
with this person could be your 5th cousin to your 8th cousin. Which
well,
is,
you said something about 5th cousin, 8th cousin. Well,
I don't know those people. I can send them messages.
They don't have obviously specific names.
They do have. Well, they have their names that are listed on the inside, but they're not all their name. Like I don't know these people. I don't know who they are. Like you're not my family.
How
But
do you know
somewhere
that?
down the line. But
How do you know
5th to
that?
8th cousin. I mean, that's like Genghis Khan. Well, we don't have any Genghis Khan. They should.
5th to 8th cousin. How many generations does that go back?
Well, I don't know. It's just saying they're the 5th to 8th. They could be a 5th to 8th cousin.
You have a specific name that you could throw at me here?
No, because the names they're honestly meaningless.
Well, maybe it's not meaningless to me.
We'll go through it together. I'll give you the login so you can look.
Oh,
'Cause
okay. So it's actually online. You didn't print it out.
Well, no, because I didn't want to know the results before we sat here for the most part, so I didn't
that's
dive
true,
in deeper
that's
because
true.
I wanted us to go over it.
Okay, the diving board was closed. Okay.
Wendy Pepper was it Wendy Pepper?
Wendy Peppercorn was from The Sandlot. And if you recall, they just did a commercial with the Yankees because it is the 25th anniversary of The Sandlot. And the Yankees just did a commercial of that. You played with the Babe Ruth ball.
Right.
The Big Bambino.
Yeah.
They just showed the Yankees doing it. The original cast of the younger kids was much better than the current New York Yankees.
Oh, really?
But it was really funny. It was really cute because it brings back fond memories of a movie that you always said was one of your favorites.
Oh, it is one of my favorites.
Right.
Baseball. You know, with James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones
just,
was great.
It's just they went ahead and ruined. I refuse ever to watch 2 and 3 because they just got new kids and they dumbed it down. And
Nah,
the
they
original
can't.
is just
No, the original is so good.
I actually have it on
So
Blu-ray
good.
and it came with a pack of cards.
Oh, did it?
For the re-release for the 25th
Came with a pack of
Avenue.
cards?
Yeah.
What, showing the actors or
No,
actual players
well, the
from
cards.
the era?
No, the kids. Their
Right.
cards from the movie.
Oh, that's cute.
With stats and everything.
That's right. So if you hold that for 40 years, it may actually be worth something.
Cards are worthless. You have a whole closet of worthless cardboard.
Now, some of it is worth something.
Speaking of worthless cardboard, what other worthless cardboard did you have before it got thrown out back in the day?
I don't know. Did we ever discuss
What happened?
what happened to my baseball cards?
I recall, but go ahead.
Well, the fact that the day that I left for college, about 50 boxes of cards, all from the finest era of carddom, stuff from the late 50s, mid to late 50s and early 60s.
Yeah.
I must have had a minimum of 50 cigar boxes full of cards, found its way to the edge of my driveway, also known as the trash heap. And when I came back on vacation during my first semester at college at good old PSU, they were gone. So that shows you how much I was valued.
Oh, you're going there?
That's where I'm going.
Is that the mood that today is in?
That's the mood that today is. But yeah, that's a direct reflection on, that what I cared about didn't make, a hill of beans in the scheme of things. But that's something that I have to let go. So we can talk about it and not angst over it.
Oh, how do you let stuff go?
It's there, but you don't let it affect your daily remembrances or your daily being or whatever. I'm not going to go curl up in a corner because my baseball cards ended up in the trash heap.
That's true. You seen any movies lately? Because you've been a big moviegoer.
Well, we saw Gone Girl and we saw, the Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Jennifer Lawrence movie?
Actually, the Sarah Lawrence movie. Whatever the heck her
Who's
name
Sarah
is.
Lawrence? You mean Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
What'd she do?
Catching Fire.
Oh, you mean...
Mockingjay.
That
Mockingjay 1.
No, yeah, Mockingjay Part 1.
Yeah, that was excellent.
I enjoyed that.
Gone Girl, I absolutely loved.
Well, I'm going to watch
saw
Interstellar.
Unbroken, which was disappointing at best. Interstellar was, honestly,
Steven liked it. Steven, go ahead, counter.
It was just okay, Steven. It wasn't. It was underwhelming.
Highly disagree with that.
Well, it was underwhelming.
I thought it was overwhelming.
That's because are you a Trekkie?
No, I'm not actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not crazy. I mean, Star Wars I loved, but
Okay, yeah, Star Wars was great.
yeah, I just love it just blew my mind, the theory behind all of that.
Don't tell me because I'm going to watch
It's
it.
just really interesting.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I bought headphones, speaking of noise.
Right. So-
Actually, Sennheiser sent me headphones that I'm buying.
Right.
They're wireless, so I can sit and watch my TV at night as
Watch
loud
your
as I
movie.
want.
Right.
With the speaker, with the headphones.
Right.
So they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's like being there.
It is. Baseball predictions, how are the Phillies going to be?
Awful.
So we have 3 shitty teams right now, and we don't know what the Eagles are going to do.
Well, I'm not going to say that the Flyers are shitty.
Well, they didn't make the playoffs. That
I think they're
constitutes
poorly
shitty.
coached, and I
you
think
know who the coach
Berube's
should be?
got to go. And I don't know who the new coach is going to be.
Peter Laviolette.
Well, he
should
not
have been the
leaving-
coach.
Well, he should still be the coach, but he's certainly not leaving Nashville. And I don't think your audience is going to be really thrilled about this conversation.
Oh, well, what do they want to get back to pissed off talk?
I don't know.
I mean, I was going to talk business if you really wanted to
Go
talk
ahead.
business, but
You can talk business.
what is the struggle in business right now? I mean, when does retirement happen? Could you ever retire?
Could I ever retire? I enjoy doing what I'm doing too much to really retire. I don't have, my hobbies are not exactly expansive. Where if I ever
neither.
stopped working, that I would have something that I would be thrilled about doing. I enjoy the give and take with the general people that I deal with. And
When you say people, you mean people.
Yeah,
People.
the chief engineers at hotels, the people that we generally sell to. I mean, they're really terrific people, and we have a great relationship, and for the most part, with most of our people, and it's just fun being there. And they break my balls as much as my sons do. So,
Don't break your balls.
oh, okay.
Do I break your balls?
No, you just roll your eyes when I say something that you don't like.
You guys gave me this stigmatism, nystagmus thing, so you can't hold that to me. That's my eyes shaking.
Who's we? White
You
men?
and Mom.
No, Mom only gets the credit for that.
That's
It was-
true.
It was her gene, not mine.
That's true.
'Cause
And
it's only the woman who can pass it on. And if you, God forbid, ever get married and have children, I would hate to have a grandchild. Seriously, don't be any rush, because I don't want to hold a grandchild. I really don't. Sometime before I'm in my grave,
Get a dog.
I'd like to hold a grandchild. Listen, Jason has dogs.
Yeah.
You have kids. So anyhow, so when
I got to find the girl first.
right, you have to find. That's usually a prerequisite.
Usually.
But what was I? I lost my.
Yeah, you got busy busting my balls. You were talking about people and retirement and all that stuff.
Yeah, which I'm not doing.
Well, you think about
unless I become physically incapable of doing the job, I will probably continue to do what I do.
we can't see ever stopping. What's the point?
There is no point to stopping.
Like your dad, 94?
4.
I mean, he's outlived his friends.
Yeah, there's nobody left.
There's like
Basically,
one person left.
I don't even know if there's
Well, he's
one
got
person left.
Burlington Coat Factory guy, but he doesn't see him very often.
No. No, Monroe is not. I don't know how old Monroe is. I would imagine he's only in his 80s.
87, I think he was like 88 now.
Oh, that's right. You
89.
interviewed him.
Well, I didn't interview him. I called him on the phone.
Right.
It would have been very difficult.
Did
no.
you ever end up interviewing?
No. I would have gone down there.
That's
but
right. You were going to go to Fort Lauderdale to interview
Yeah,
him.
it was just a little
And it never happened?
difficult.
Because?
I don't know what frame of mind he was in.
Oh.
It was, I'm just a random guy calling that he knew pop up, but
Right. So he was not trusting.
no,
of where
he
you were
wasn't on.
coming
He was
from?
just like, I'm traveling, and then call me if you ever do come down, and that was it.
Oh well, you came down.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't pursue it.
Okay, good choice.
But
I think.
It would have been great to talk to a billionaire about a
Yeah,
business.
somebody who started with one lonely store in Burlington, New Jersey, and turned it into the empire that he turned it into, which is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
Much like you, starting with one little speaker and turning it into the
One speaker.
whatever, and turning it into the multitudinous situation that you've created.
Yeah, out of thin air.
You've earned the right.
It's still thin air though. Still started up in Jay's. Well, I mean, you didn't know what the hell I was doing every day.
I never knew what you were doing, and when my father would ask me, "What's Jared doing?" I said, "You'll have to ask him because I don't have a clue." And then my brother would be the same way. "What's Jared doing?" I said, "I don't know."
And now?
Now I'm still pretty much in the same ballpark. I don't know. Ask Jared. All I know is that it works. All I know is that he's become a world traveler, and that Stephen, who is sitting immediately to my right, has tagged
Standing.
along, and
He gets to travel the world.
he really gets to travel the world at the a great opportunity. Would you not agree with that, sir?
Oh, I completely agree with that.
I mean, it's been a great opportunity.
Definitely.
And Jared is certainly appreciative of what you guys bring to the table as well.
So where do you want to travel? You haven't gone many places yet.
I really have no desires of seeing anything specific. I love Vegas. I've enjoyed Aruba, but anybody and everybody can go there. But I have no desires. I'm very happy where I'm at.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
All right. Anything? What's next?
What's next?
You're gonna get a belt.
Am I going to get a belt?
You need a belt.
I'm going to get a shot. I don't know about a belt.
You need a belt.
Yeah, I know I do. Because,
you really need a belt.
Because my bike cracky is showing.
No, it's not about the crack. It's just about a belt. It looks. You some.
Do you think any of your audience is going to hang on this long with this type of conversation?
I don't know. They'll comment.
I don't either. I'm sure they'll comment.
I don't know. We got you in a good mood, so.
Yes, you've transformed my melodrama to just drama.
Well, I don't know if you ever went into what was causing your mood.
Nah, nothing in particular.
All right. Well, are you excited for the pizza tonight?
Oh yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Did you talk to your gentleman over there?
Well, I will at 5:30 when he opens. We'll go down and we'll just eat.
Okay.
Are you hungry?
Cool.
Early?
No. Whenever you're ready to go, we'll go.
Because it's not 5:30 yet.
I know.
And we can go down there.
It's not even 4:30 yet.
Oh. All right. So we have to hang out, and you got to watch TV and eat my nuts over there.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. All right. So.
You didn't write a multitude of questions here to grill me on?
No, it was more going through the DNA that
but it didn't
is
show
disappointing.
anything. Right, it's disappointing. It really doesn't go in depth about anything.
I mean, what would you want it to tell you?
I don't know.
Just more than just where I'm from?
I think your Ancestry.com, if you did that online, would be a lot more earth-shattering. I think you would obtain a lot more information. You would find specific names
I did do
of
it on
specific
Ancestry.com.
relatives in specific locations. You may have found somebody who served in the Civil War. I mean, who knows? I would have found that to be a heck of a lot more interesting than just 96% European.
I agree, Stephen. When you said, I think on Ancestry you have to build your family tree or something.
I'm not definitely sure. I know my brother has, like I was saying, reached out to my great aunts and stuff like that, and has slowly built up the tree with people who he thinks is a connection to the family. But that's also after doing a ton of research on his own, like even just going to the actual library and stuff like that. I think Ancestry.com doesn't do that much for you.
They need to.
A lot of it's like on your end, what you have to piece together. But I do think with the DNA test, they do recommend who you might be close with. Like you said, your fifth cousin or something like that. Yeah. So I guess they are slowly growing that
And you
database.
would have to go online in order to get the name.
Well, I am online.
Okay.
It is. It's in my account.
But I don't personally use it, so I can't tell you
I would
what
be
it does or what
interested
it
in
doesn't.
seeing that.
Well, we'll go look at that.
Okay.
Any parting words for people at home? Any
No.
wisdom to bestow?
No. My pearls of wisdom, my POWs left a while ago. So pearls of wisdom.
I got it.
By the way, I know.
It's just like the PRPA.
What's a PRP?
I don't remember from Photo News today.
Oh, okay.
I
How was Photo News today, Stephen? Was it exhilarating as always?
It was excellent. Got interrupted probably about seven times.
We talked about
some singing breaks.
We talked about Scientology. I watched that thing on HBO.
Did you watch that on HBO?
I did.
Yeah,
We learned
I only
a lot.
watched little bits and pieces. Did you watch Vice this week?
No, which one was it?
I don't know. They were talking to some Indian woman about surrogate motherhood
Oh, right.
in India.
I didn't see
and
it.
that they promise them X amount of dollars and pay them a very small percentage of what they guaranteed them up front.
To have a
And
kid.
because they do not sign contracts, there's no legal way to prove that they were supposed to get $6,700 and they ended up getting $1,700, and there's no legal contract because nothing was signed or issued. So they're out, go prove it. So they
Right.
get $1,700 instead of what they were promised, which was $7,000, or very close to it, and you have no recourse.
Got it.
And if you watched 60 Minutes this past week, that was another Vice venture where they talked about that viruses were being injected into cancerous tumors, and the tumors were basically being blown up.
Well, they showed that. They had the whole episode on Vice. for
Right.
that.
They had the whole episode on Vice, and they just did it on 60 Minutes on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And what they've done was they have taken the polio virus and removed the strand, which means that it cannot replicate itself in the body. But what it does is that it eliminates the ability of the cancer cell itself from protecting itself from the attacking lymphocytes of the human body.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. So it's extraordinary.
I couldn't get through that whole episode.
It's really extraordinary.
It was a good. I mean, it was good talking about how they're using like measles and stuff like that to
Right.
attack
Specific-
and kill cancer.
Right.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Pretty interesting. And they say it's going to work in the pancreas, and it's going to work in the lungs, and it's going to work in the breasts. And all these trials are underway. And there have been 14 trials, I believe, in Duke, at the Duke Medical Center, which is what they discussed on Sunday night
Sure.
during 60 Minutes. And they've had a lot of success, so it's pretty extraordinary. And on that note, I think you better wrap up because we've already bored this shit out of everybody else.
Oh, well. I just highly disappointed in Ancestry.com's just telling me where I'm from. I don't know what I expected, and I don't know what they tell me that I should have expected, and I don't know what I actually did expect.
Right. Does it tell you anything other than it gives you the
It gives
percentages of
percentages
your DNA?
and a map and where you're from. I mean, it's really telling you where you're from.
That's it, period.
Yeah, so now you know.
Well, I knew we were Eastern European ancestry anyhow
Now you know.
because
Even more.
my father's father was from Russia. So my mother was born in Poland. So it was all Eastern European blood.
Got it.
Wasn't that difficult to figure out? You didn't need to spend $99 for me to tell you that.
Well, now I know. Now I just wanted to see if I had any African in me,
I
which
understand.
I actually thought I did. I thought we all did, for some reason. But anyway, hopefully this discussion has changed your mood into something better.
Absolutely. I certainly appreciate the efforts
It's like,
to bring me out of my shell.
well, you did. Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
And now we'll get back to the Wheel of Fro and the rest of the show.
What are we doing on the Wheel of Fro today? by
We
the way?
already spun the wheel.
Did you already spin the wheel?
Yeah.
I didn't get an opportunity?
Do you want to spin the wheel?
No.
Sutter, can you bring the wheel?
I wanted to be Martha, was her name? What was the girl's name who you had on the original on the Wheel of Fro?
You want to be Maria?
Maria. I knew there was an M-A-R. It was close. I had Martha instead of Maria. I was only off by one letter. One letter. Yeah, the TH. Take the TH, add an A. Maria.
All right, so we'll let you spin the wheel, and then I'll randomly pick somebody online.
What does LR stand for, by the way?
Lightroom.
Lightroom.
Adobe Lightroom.
Okay. Do we have a solutions?
No,
line on
there's
that?
no solutions line because she doesn't have a website.
Yes, she does. She has a website.
What is the website?
Solutions.
But I'm sure it's not solutions.com.
I have no idea. Couldn't begin to tell you.
All right, so stand up. Get
I
ready
have to
spin the
stand
wheel.
up.
You
I
have to
can't
spin
do
the
this
wheel.
from a sitting position.
It needs a good wheel spin.
It really needs a good. All right. Well, Maria taught me well.
All right, so this is a separate spin for somebody. I don't know who yet. Don't. All right, sit down. Around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Fro is going to stop on
Looks like video blocks.
videoblocks.com. So congratulations, insert name here. You have won a free year of videoblocks.com. Check out more about Videoblocks at
Videoblocks.com.
videoblocks.com/go/fro. All right, anything else you want to do?
No, sir.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Now we'll get to the actual Wheel of Fro spin.
Oh, that was just a. Oh, that was a
Secondary.
bogus one.
No, somebody's going to win.
Wow.
I'll give one away.
I hope I accommodated somebody.
We'll pick somebody.
All right, I'm done.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
It's been real.
So as always, it's interesting when my dad comes on the show.
Very.
We found out some interesting information about the percentages of what makes me up. What's I'm made up of? What's me up? That sounded like Borat.
Borat
So you said you pulled up your Ancestry.com, so
My
we're going to find out
brother
what you are?
is a history fanatic. I mean, he loves going through Ancestry.com and actually piecing together. He's like talked to my great aunts and stuff to try and figure out who, is our relatives and how far we date back. He actually got us back all the way to like mid 1700s, my family tree.
Are you black?
I don't think I'm black, no. Let's see, I am 52% Irish or from Ireland, 98% from Europe in general.
Here, I'll tell you the largest one I am is 89%.
89.
Oh, shit, 96%.
Wow. So 98% Europe, 52% from Ireland.
Did you say 98%?
98% from Europe, yeah. And it says 2% from West Asia. 18% Europe West, 11% Great Britain, and 10% from Scandinavia.
Wow, so
and
you're
then
European.
There's 7% that they just can't trace back.
That's alien.
And then I'll pop up on the screen. You can actually see like it shows like the areas highlighted and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
can give you mine, too.
Generally just Europe is where I'm from. Ireland, I guess, is most of it.
I wished it gave more details on stuff. I mean, I gave them my DNA. Hopefully, they're not saving it or something for like
We're gonna make
replication.
another Jared Poland.
Be like, oh, whoa, stop the clock.
But Ancestry.com is really cool for this kind of stuff.
Are they paying you to say that?
No.
Are you a sellout?
No payment, no plug.
It's just I thought it was cool to do. I thought I saw
cool.
it was like $99, so
it's not
did
bad price.
But it was. I mean, there's on there. There's like it's kind of like a social network because it's like here's somebody that's 5 to 8, your 5th to 8th cousin away.
Yeah,
Like, I don't give a shit
they
about
like recommend people or something,
John
right?
Walsh.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
funny.
I want to know if there's somebody that's like 2nd or 3rd because then that's pretty darn close. So I got to look into it more because I just opened it before we started this show. So anyway, it's time to get to the Wheel of Fro.
Let's do it.
And I'm not going to say who is spinning this week. Oh, last week we had 3 spins.
3.
I forgot to ask Jill which product she wanted.
We had 2 question marks, right?
We had 2 question marks.
And a spin again.
Wait, she wanted
Yeah.
she wanted something. She said
wanted
it.
something.
I can't remember what it is, but I know that Alex got I think he got Adorama picks last week.
Cool.
I think
Yeah, he did.
That was a spin again to Adorama picks.
Oh, all right. So he got that. And then Quentin wants a Black Rapid strap.
Nice.
He said that's going to help him out.
Yeah.
So he picked for
Strap
the Black
really
Rapid
does
strap.
help.
So on the wheel, we've got Lightroom. That's for the Creative Cloud, the photo style. That's $10 a month. Rode microphone. What is that website, Sutter?
www.myrodereel.com.
Correct.
Yes.
No
You may
cowbell for
move on
that.
to the next level. Can I get a word of origin? Question mark. Oh, so Rode microphone. We use these Rode broadcaster mics, and as of a couple of weeks ago, you realize that when the mics aren't working, how
It's
bad
a big
it
difference.
sounds.
Oh yeah.
So
I notice it every week at editing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I can,
true.
I can see.
Anyway,
and hear.
quality mics. You know we've been using them for a while. They support us, so hopefully you guys support them as well as a place to look for when you need a microphone for your camera. Question mark means we spin, basically you pick anything you want except the grand prize. Borrow lenses is $250 in credit. FroKnowsPhoto prize. Plastic printers is $250 free plastic business cards. Videoblocks.com. You can go to videoblocks.com/go/fro to get your free 7-day trial going there. We use that a lot.
Yeah, we
Anyway.
do.
Squarespace.com/fro. You've heard me talk about that for over a year now. Just love Squarespace. Black Rapid straps, Rode microphones. We've got the spin again, sandwiched by the Atomos Ninja.
The Ninja 2.
Ninja 2,
Still waiting
$699
for it to land on
value.
that.
Maybe we'll
Came
swap
close
that out
last
with
week.
something else.
That's the closest it's ever came.
It is. Adorama picks. I think I want to do something like if it lands on Adorama picks, maybe give everybody a code.
That'd be
but
cool.
I've got to work that out with them first. Fro prize. Think Tank is always a nice prize. They give a nice bag each time.
Very nice bag.
Audioblocks.com/go/fro. Audioblocks is where we got the audio for your stuff. Squarespace again, back to the top, and it's that time.
I do have a quick question. If someone lands on the question mark and they're feeling lucky, can they pick the spin again?
But why?
I don't know.
Because then it's just going to land on something that they probably don't want when they can choose whatever they want.
Yeah, well, nobody's
But
ever asked that,
theoretically,
but
you could
could
pick
ask
that.
for a spin again.
Yeah,
You hear that, people? And by
Dang.
you people, I mean you people. If you are the one person today who's going to be spinning, I won't tell you your name,
Mind
and it lands on
blown.
question mark, you can ask to spin again if you want to challenge yourself to win the big prize. Good question. So we are spinning for, I'm not going to tell you. Sutter?
Wheel of Fro!
And yes, it is really that loud that my neighbor can hear it and say, what is that clacketing noise? Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Nobody look. Nobody look. Everybody look away. I can't see where it's going to stop on the wheel over there. Let's just wait till it's silent. Let's see. Everybody at home is going to say that it's going to land on 3, 2, 1, look. Lightroom. Lightroom. Congratulations. I like that. Congratulations go out to first initial of the last name is a T. First initial
Can I get a vowel?
of the first name, there's an O, there's a U, there's an E.
E.
That's in the last name, sandwiched by an N and an R. So if your name is Joel Turner, you have won a free year of Lightroom and Photoshop Creative Cloud, the photo bundle. Yay! 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 I really miss special ed. Special ed was so funny. Oh, I listened to the Perry Farrell special ed one while sitting in the back of the tour bus with Perry Farrell, talking about when he got crank called by special ed.
That's funny.
It was, oh my, let's pull that up when we're done the show because it is funny.
Yeah.
Yay!
I think of Strong Bad when you say that because he kind of talks like that.
Who's Strong Bad?
Guys
Strong
are from
Bad?
California.
on the web. He's like that
Trogdor.
animated guy that we used to check out in like high school and then go on the website. And
No idea.
you should check it out.
Trogdor. That's like the big
I'm sorry.
one, right?
I don't know what you guys are talking. You
Well,
kids.
We'll look at that too.
Okay.
Are we talking about the same thing right now?
I think we are.
Wait, what is
it's
it again?
Runner, Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner,
Homestar
yeah.
Runner.
Okay, so guys, this has been RAWtalk episode number 127. You can find all the information at FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk127. All the photo news stories and more are over there. You can also get links to myroadreel.com spelled properly. Unlike Sutter's ability to spell at the first 7 times was it was MYRE. I was like, what are you doing?
Somebody always failed the spelling bee.
Hey, how you? Oh, I was the worst speller.
I actually did really good.
Oh, I was bad.
Yeah.
Yo, why don't you brag a little bit more about your spelling skills?
Okay, Mr. Sutter, please get to. Eckert. I could see the animation right now. Little Eckert walking up in the jeans, backwards hat,
Tiny backpack.
white shirt. That will be Snuffleupagus. SNUF Snuffleupagus. And the teacher, Miss
Can I get it
Krabappel,
used
is
in a
like,
sentence?
correct. Okay, all right. I digress. So I want to thank my dad for coming on the show.
Yes.
I want to thank my DNA for telling me what I am and what I am not.
And that it is your daddy.
He is my daddy. You, sir, you are my dad.
You are the father.
At least I hope so. Because I didn't do the paternity test.
Uh-oh.
On next week's episode, paternity tests. Am I actually my dad's son, or am I somebody else's son?
Dun-dun-dun.
On next week's episode of Maury Povich. Maury, I do what I want because I can.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. Screw you, everybody. That's a great South Park
Great
episode.
South Park episode.
Anyway, we did the D5500 thing. Go check out that video. And that is where we're going to leave it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.